All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. This is the day that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. For those of you that are coming on, please do your boy a favor. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know Prophet Ramon, the squad, and the Ramon Preston Show. We are live in the house on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Monday. In terms of business and go-getting and grinding, Monday is my favorite day. I love Mondays. Those of you that are coming on, please hit the like button, hit the share button, and tag your family members, your friends, your team members, your partners, your associates, anybody that you're in relationship with, anybody that you think needs to learn more about entrepreneurship, business, financial literacy, real estate investing, family legacy, wealth building, starting and structuring and scaling, holding companies, income streams, nonprofits, ministries, churches, anybody that you know that's connected to any of the above mentioned areas of life economically. I want you to hit that like button, hit the share button, and tag them to let them know we're live and we're on. For those of you that are coming on, please, after hitting the like, share, and tag, I want you to drop in the comments what city you're watching us from. We are right here live in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta, the Beverly Hills of the South, the financial district of Atlanta. We're right in the heart of it. And I don't know where you're watching us from, but I would love to know if you would drop the name of the city, state, country, or planet. You might be with Elon Musk on Mars. I just read an article earlier this morning saying that, I don't know how true it is, but the article was saying that Jeff Bezos plans on taking a trip out of space in one of the spaceships that one of his companies has created. I don't know how true it is. I hadn't really taken the time to dig into it. But if it's true, then you might be watching me from a different planet at some point. So whether it's Mars or wherever Elon Musk is and Jeff Bezos and the rest of them at, I want you to drop that name in the comments. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. I am your host, Ramon Preston, every Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock noon. We come to you bringing you information, bringing you revelation, and giving you what we know you need in order to properly start, structure, and scale your businesses, your ministries, your income streams, and even your wealth building dreams. Or maybe like me, you're an individual that wants to start, structure, and scale all of the above. And we use this platform called the Ramon Preston Show to provide that information, that revelation, and really the practice and principles to you Monday through Friday. All of this information is a direct extension from our organizational enterprise and the multiple divisions that our enterprise represents, whether it's the RP Consulting Group, our consulting division, whether it's our coaching program, or whether it's our signature Blueprint Game Plan business and financial training program that we house on our university platform. But wherever it's coming from, all of the information is central to helping you start, structure, and scale your businesses, your ministries, your income streams, and even your wealth building dreams. And so I am so thankful to all of you for the last 4.5 months that you have continued to show your love and your support on and with and to the Ramon Preston Show. We started this show Monday through Friday at 12 noon at the end of January of this year. And for the last 4.5 months, we've been continuing to build this platform out. And the number of people that we've been able to service, the number of people that we've been able to reach, the number of people, and I ain't just talking about people we know, I'm talking about people that we don't know in multiple states throughout the United States of America, people from other countries that we have had the opportunity to speak to consult, to provide services for. It's been absolutely amazing. And we're not able to make that happen without your participation, without your eyes, without your ears, without your engagement. And so when I ask you to hit the like button, the share button, to tag family members and friends or people that might be on your timeline that you know are connected to business or ministry or finances, when I ask you to drop the name of the city in the comments, when I ask you to give me some feedback, I'm not just asking you that from me. Of course, I want it from me because I want to continue to fulfill my assignment. I want to continue to expand the objective that I have to help bring economic deliverance and breakthrough to my tribe and to my community. But at the same time, it's for the people that we don't even know. It's for the people that live in other cities, in other states, in other countries, in other worlds that just need to be exposed to the right information. Because a lot of you are entrepreneurs at heart. A lot of you are leaders. A lot of you are the CEOs of your last name. A lot of you are the financiers, the breadwinners of your household. And a lot of times all you lack is just the right principles and practices. And so that's where we specialize in, because we have built an organization that is special to starting and structuring and scaling your businesses and your ministries and your income streams. We get into the nuts and bolts. We get into the meat of it. We get into the tactics, into the practices of it. We don't just give you this general surface, superficial conversation about business and finances and economics. So, all right, that's my little spiel. I'm ready to get into my discussion today because I think this week, now within the last 4.5 months since we launched the show, we have actually had a few weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, that we did series, meaning that we took the whole week, Monday through Friday, and we just built our discussions around this overwhelming thought, this theme that we might call a series. And of course, I'm a preacher, I'm a homiletician, so I've preached enough sermons to know that when you can put a good series together and you can help walk people through a process, through a series, it's easier for people to grasp and to comprehend. And so this week, now that we are leading up to our first VIP workshop, isn't this our first one of the year? Yeah, this is our first VIP workshop. We've already hosted our mastermind. So now that we're leading up to our first of many VIP workshops, which this Saturday from 12 to 4, we're going to be hosting our first VIP financial workshop here in our headquarters for 4 hours. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts of QuickBooks, of accounting, of creative tax strategies, and of a lot of the fundamentals of financial literacy. So I'm going to take 4 hours, my team and I, and we're going to assist you and walk you through the process of getting your QuickBooks account set up, getting your bank accounts connected, getting it integrated into your business, and giving you the basics of running and operating QuickBooks and implementing certain creative tax and accounting strategies within your QuickBooks system. And so this Saturday, we're going to be hosting that first of many VIP workshops. And so we have a whole lot of different workshops, VIP workshops, in addition to our masterminds that we're going to be hosting here by August. And this is just like a I'm just giving y'all like a preview. I'm just throwing out a whole lot of information. By August, we're already in the planning process. By August, we're going to start in-house sales training, because we want to build a sales team in-house. We want to build a marketing team in-house. We want to build a strong administrative back office IT team in-house, meaning that we're going to hire people, bring them in-house for our sales department, for our marketing department, for our IT back office department. So by August, we're going to be recruiting, probably before August, we're going to start recruiting some of you amazing people who just want to be a part of a team and really want to help us scale to tens of millions of dollars so that we can help millions of people, so that we can change millions of lives, and so that we can, watch this, plant thousands of churches around the world, thousands of nonprofits and outreaches and foundations. That's what we're going to be doing with a lot of the things that God exposes us to. We've done it. My wife and I, we've built a successful business and a successful nonprofit organization, and we're going to continue to finance the things that we want to do in our nonprofit organization. But a lot of what we finance is as a result of what we do in our business. So just the FYI, if you're interested in selling products and services like what we provide through our consulting, our coaching, our online training university, we're going to be hosting some orientations, some trainings, and we're going to be recruiting some people to sell and to really share. It's more of a sharing than a selling. So it's sharing the information that God has given to us. We're going to also be recruiting people for our marketing and for our IT and for our back office and for our administration. And again, I mean, you just need to talk to some of the people that already work with me and for me to know that we ain't playing no games around here. You got to be a go-getter. You got to be a self-starter. And we're building out a solid organization. So anyway, because we are preparing to host our first VIP financial workshop this Saturday, I want to go ahead and use this week to discuss certain principles and practices, certain items and topics from the theme that is centered around the power of systems. You may have already seen that in our description, in the caption, in the link that is connected to this live broadcast. So this week we're going to be talking about principles and practices, tactics, methods, strategies, all centered around the power of systems. The power of systems. I truly believe if you can wrap your mind around the power of systems and understand how important the power of systems are to a business, and if you're able to take that understanding and start implementing the right systems into what you consider to be your business or your ministry or your operation, you are going to see immediate change. Yeah. You're going to see immediate change. Most, if not all of the people that I talk to and teach and train about systems are almost immediately changed and transformed once they grasp it, understand it, and implement it in their businesses, in their ministries, or in their operations. And so this week, every day leading up to our first VIP financial workshop this Saturday, I'm going to be talking about the power of systems, the power of systems. Now, of course, while we're having these discussions, if you have any questions, you already know what you can do. Do I need to tell you what you need to do? Let me remind you, just in case you missed the memo. All you have to do is dial 678-922-1963, extension 1. That number is in the comments, 678-922-1963, extension 1. Okay, one more again, 678-922-1963, extension 1. If you dial, or when you dial that number, it's going to come directly. It's rerouting directly to my cell phone, and I'm going to pick the phone up. I'm going to answer it, and I'm going to answer your question, whatever question you might have about starting, structuring, or scaling your business, your ministry, your income streams, your wealth building dreams, or it just may be some techie question you have on the technicalities of your business. But this week we're going to be talking about systems, because the world revolves around systems. That is the first statement that I want to make today on this show. The world revolves around systems. If you're taking notes, I want you to write that down. Okay? The world revolves around systems. How many of you agree with me on that? The world revolves around systems. The world revolves around systems. Now, I'm going somewhere with this, because if I am correct that the world revolves around systems, oh, I'm sorry, there's a such thing called the solar system.
It is.
So the world, or the earth that we're in, is actually a part of a system.
Yes.
So the earth and the world itself is a system. It revolves around a system. It is a part of a quote unquote solar system. So if I'm correct that the world revolves around systems, then it stands to reason that your world should in fact revolve around systems. So if you live on an earth, if you live in a world that revolves totally around systems, and which is in fact a part of a solar quote unquote system, then why would you not see to it or make the effort for your world to revolve around systems? And when I say your world, what exactly am I talking about? I'm talking about your personal world. I'm talking about your financial world. I'm talking about your professional world, your career world, anything that you want to do in life. If you revolve that thing around systems, there are certain things that are going to happen so that you can actually fulfill the very thing you want to do in that area. How do you know that? Well, first of all, because the world revolves around systems. Secondly, my world and all of our worlds should revolve, and even if we're not conscious of it, they do revolve around systems, because either your world revolves around systems that you've created and you've implemented and you've integrated into your life, or your world revolves around systems that somebody else created, integrated, and implemented. But I guarantee if I dig into the details of your life, financial life, your business, your career, your work life, every area of your life, I guarantee either you created, implemented, and integrated systems in those areas, or someone else did and you just became a part of those systems. Let me give an example. If you don't own a business but you work on a job, guess what you're working in? A system. You're only working 8 hours a day in a 24-hour-a-day system. But somebody had to create that system in order to give you an opportunity to come into that system and work 8 hours of that system. So whether you create your own systems, implement your own systems and integrate these systems into other areas of your life or not, you're still a part of systems, because the world revolves around systems. Our worlds should revolve around systems. And guess what? The acronym for system is something that you and everybody should know, especially the people that's around me long enough. They know this. The acronym for system is S, save, Y, yourself, S, what is it? Save yourself. I forgot. say, what is it? S, system, save yourself, stress. I totally forgot. How did I get here? I just had a how did I get? I'm talking all this junk with don't I do that all the time? I be talking like confident, like I know exactly what I'm talking about.
In your behind.
In my behind. Wow. I always have those moments like, how did I get here? So the acronym for system, and I was bold with it too. You don't know this. You need to know this. Everybody around me know this. And I got to the third S and I was like, wait a minute, what is the third S? Save yourself, The third S is stress. The T is time. The E is energy. And the M is money. That's the acronym for system. See, a lot of this stuff, I know it by heart. I mean, I don't always remember, obviously.
You have this.
Yeah, I do have it. I mean, I've taught it for years, so I know it. I know all this stuff I know by heart. I don't even have to take notes, but I should for those types of moments. But I like to freestyle, so it is what it is. You know, sometimes I just put down these ideas and I remember them just like it ain't no tomorrow. So anyway, the acronym for system is what? SYSTEM. That means systems, or the word system describes things that save yourself or saves you stress, time, energy, and money. So that's like a philosophical statement, right? Philosophically, when it comes to my mindset, when it comes to my life, when it comes to my point of view, my perspectives, okay, I understand that a system is designed to save me stress, time, energy, and money. Think about it. When you don't have a system, what are you giving up? You're giving up your peace because you stress. You giving up your time because you overwhelmed. You working too much. You giving up your energy because you putting out way more effort than you need to, and most likely you giving up your money. So a system is actually designed to help you save those things. We want to save stress. We don't want to be stressed out. We want what we do in business, what we do as entrepreneurs, what we do in ministry, what we do in life. We want these things to be systematic, right? We want these things to be efficient. We want these things to be effective, and we want them to be measurable enough so that when we sit down and start looking at the track record of something that we did, we have a system that can help us measure the metrics and the milestones so that we can further develop better methods because of systems. So we want to save ourselves stress. We definitely want to save ourselves time, because even though I heard one guru say it this way, even though you as an individual may be limited to 24 hours in a day, but systems are not limited. As a matter of fact, most of us can't go but so many hours before we have to sleep. And the average person across the board sleeps anywhere between 6 to 8 hours a night, at least 6 to 8 hours a night. Now, if you are an anomaly and you sleep less than 6 hours a night for a long period of time, you're probably beating and breaking your body down to the point that it's almost like detrimental to your life, to your health. It's just not good for you. You have to sleep, okay? But my point is, if the average person is sleeping 6 to 8 hours, 8 hours is like the perfect time, 8 hours a night. That means you have 16 hours in a day. That's all you have, right? But when you have systems, and we're going to talk about different systems through this week, we're going to talk about different layers of these systems, different styles of these systems. But for the most part, when you have systems, let's say if you have a system that can operate 24 hours a day, right? So that means if all I can operate is 8 hours a day, but I have a system that operates 24 hours a day, that means that one system can operate 3 times more than I can. And then depending on what that system is built around, that's going to have a lot to do to determine how better off that thing it's built around is going to be to my business. This is why everything you do in business has to be centered around systems. Because trust me, if I'm talking to you, in which I don't have a problem talking to you, consulting you, giving you some wisdom and some tips and some direction, but if I'm talking to you and one of the things we identify with your business, your finances, or your life, personally or professionally, or ministerially, that you don't have systems, that's going to be one of the reasons why you're probably stressed. That's going to be one of the reasons why you probably don't have time. That's probably going to be one of the reasons why you don't have energy. You're burnt out. That's probably going to be one of the reasons why you don't have enough money. Why? Because you don't have systems or things that will actually save you this stress, this time, this energy, and this money. Now, I'm just talking like philosophically. These are just ideals that I want to shape your mind around. I want your perspective about systems to change. I want you to understand, if you can't go click a button and figure out what the executive infrastructure of your life looks like, that means you don't have a system. If you can't click a button and identify with what your sales infrastructure look like, that means you don't have a sales system. If you can't do that with your marketing, if you can't do that with your finances, if you can't do that with your administration and your operation, your day-to-day business, guess what? That means you don't have a what? A system. If you're selling products or services and you can't click a couple buttons and identify with what your products are, what you provide in your products, how much of your products you have, it's because you don't have a what? You don't have a system. And if you don't have a system, but you got all these things in your head or in your life, I guarantee you got more stress. I guarantee you don't have enough time. I guarantee you probably burnt out because you spread thin. And I definitely guarantee you ain't got no money. And if you got money, it ain't enough money. Because you don't have a money problem, you don't have an energy problem, you don't have a time problem, you don't have a stress problem. Guess what problem you got? You got a system problem. And we want to fix that problem. We want to fix that problem. All right? So if what I've said so far resonates with you, I want you to drop in the comments, I agree. Put in the comments, I agree. And if you have any questions, I want you to call me or at least drop the questions in the comments. I agree. I agree. We got to get some systems, right? Even if you got a comment, I want to share what your perspective is on this whole conversation of systems. I was looking for that flyer. I got to remember to drop that flyer today for that interview we're doing, that radio show interview.
You got it?
I think I got it in my phone somewhere. I'm going to find it.
I can email it to you.
Yeah, I don't know what I did with it. I thought I had it, but I don't have it. So yeah, I'm going to need to get a copy of it. All right, so let's get into some of the meat of this whole idea on the power of systems. That was just a good little 25-minute rant right there. So let's get into some of the details, okay?
Yeah.
I want to start with helping you understand what a business system is. Now, I gave you the analogy for a system, right? The analogy is something that saves you stress, time, energy, and money. So the goal is to develop the mindset that as an entrepreneur, as a financial leader, as the CEO of your life, as the go-getter, the grinder, the hustler, the goal is to what? The goal is to create systems, or if they're already created, to integrate them or implement them and integrate them into the ecosystem of your business or of your finances. We want to systematize, if you will. We want to systematize everything that you're doing. So when it comes to like all of the main areas of your business, I'm gonna talk about my top 5 systems in a corporate structure. But when it comes to those main systems, we want to make sure everything that's associated to those areas that we have systems in place. And here's what's going to happen, because I have done this over and over again. Matter of fact, one of our areas, we working on creating a whole new system, getting rid of one system because it's not working well. It's flawed. But if we didn't have systems, we wouldn't be able to see that we need a better system, because we wouldn't have had none. But at least we got one. It's just slowing certain things down. But some people don't even have that. So think if you didn't have, just in that one system we use, think if you didn't have that as a personal assistant. You'd be around here scrambling. You have notepads everywhere, napkins, because there's just no way you could keep up with that much information in your head, number one. And you'll become a scriber. You wouldn't even be a personal assistant. You'll be a scriber. A scriber is just a writer. Because all you'll be doing is just gathering data. That's all you'll be doing. You wouldn't have time to do nothing else. All you'll be doing for me is data entry. If you didn't have a system. But because you got a system that's connected to other systems, you're able to move a little more efficiently. But now we're recognizing that some of the systems that we have they're good, but they're not good enough for the diverse divisions that we have. We got too many moving parts in our business, which means as you grow, you realize the systems that worked with 20 clients don't work with 200. The systems that work with just you don't work with you and 3 or 4 people. Now you have to upgrade those systems, but you got to start somewhere. So we've already established the fact that a system is something that saves you stress, time, energy, and money. Now I want to give you a clear working definition and a description of what a business system is. Now, I really want to break this all the way down, okay? I want to break this all the way down because I want you to understand the power of systems when it comes to your business. All right? So if you're taking notes, here's what I want you to write down. A business system, like if I had a whole big studio, that might be something I need to do. If I had like a real big studio that I could walk around like they do on CNN and just walk to a board and have all the information on the board. That's what I envisioned initially. That's why we was gonna take this wall down, remember? Because I wanted to be able to just walk around but I was gonna need like 2 or 3 cameras on switchers so that everybody could switch to one camera angle when I walk to a certain board. But since I don't have that system, let me just give it to you my way. A business system, here it is. A business system is a legal entity comprising of staff, systems, and services that make exchanges in the marketplace for a profit and for a purpose that leads to a profit. This is going to be the basis of our series this week. A business system is, number one, a legal entity. So I want you to understand that. When you start an LLC, when you start a nonprofit, when you get an EIN number, you have a legal entity, right? You have a federal employer identification number with your LLC, with your articles of organization, with your articles of incorporation, with your EIN number. You get a bank account, but it doesn't mean you have a business system. So a lot of times people say, oh, I got a business, but you really don't have a business. That's why a lot of times I say they don't have a business. They got what? A good idea on paper. That's all they have. Why do I say that when I say they got a good idea on paper? Because they have LLC paperwork. They have a federal identification number. They have a bank account. So they got paperwork stating that they have a legal entity, but they don't have any systems. So that means they're really not operating efficiently. They just scrambling around trying to figure out, how do I build my business? You're going to build your business through systems. This is one of the biggest game changers for entrepreneurs when they understand, oh, wow, the reason why my business is not growing because my systems are not growing. If my systems grow, guess what's going to happen? My business is going to grow. And trust me, y'all, I had growing pains for years with this in our business and in our ministry until I figured that out. It took me so much pain and toils and ups and downs to figure this one thing out. It took me years to figure out, man, what is the problem? And once I figured out, oh, I have a system problem. Once I figured that out, then I had to go through the learning curve of creating and developing and implementing and integrating systems. But nevertheless, a business system, if you got a business, your business needs to be a business system, meaning that it is a legal entity, right? But it doesn't just stop with a legal entity. It has to be a legal entity that comprises of, number one, staff, number two, systems, and services that make exchanges in the marketplace for a profit and for a purpose that leads to a profit. So your business is actually, like, to simplify this discussion, your business, your LLC, your Inc., your nonprofit is actually a system of exchange. That's what it is. So when you
like operating as a hobby.
Say what now?
Like operating as a hobby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. When you don't have when you don't have system, when you have a business or ministry or any type of entity, and it's not comprising of certain things, systems, that means it's just a hobby. It's just something you're doing for fun. It's just a good idea on paper. But most of you that's listening to me on a regular basis, most of you that follow me, you don't just want to do business as a hobby. You really want to make money. You want financial freedom. You want to build a legacy. You want your kids and your grandkids to have something. You want to be able to wake up every day and do what you love and what you're passionate about and what you feel like God has called and assigned you to do. Well, guess what? You have to build a business. You have to build a business. That means you have to take the legal entity. That's one part of it. That's the structure part. So this is one of the reasons why we break these areas down into starting, structuring, and scaling. Because a part of your starting and structuring and scaling is to implement and integrate the right systems, okay? So we have established the fact that a business system, your LLC, your Inc., your nonprofit, your partnership, your C Corp, your S Corp, whatever it is, your holding company, your operating company, your salon, your boutique, your clothing line, your hairline, your shoe line, your transportation business, whatever the business is that you have, that legal entity has to become a business system. And the way it's going to become a business system is by you implementing and integrating into that system, or making sure that this business, this legal entity, is comprised of, is made up of the right staff or people. We'll talk about that one day this week. The right systems or processes. That's the overwhelming discussion we're going to have this week. And the right products or services. And then once you make sure that your legal entity is comprised of those things, guess what then has to happen? You have to begin to make exchanges through that legal entity or through that business system. And when you make those exchanges, they have to be in the marketplace for a profit or for a purpose that leads to a profit. Now, I'm telling y'all, I'm going to break this whole definition and description down because, number one, if a business system is a legal entity, of course, you have to make sure you have the right legal entity. You know, we teach about the holding company concept. We teach the operating company concept. We teach you how to create a holding company, create divisions, and create subsidiaries. So that's the legal entity part. But the next part about this legal entity building infrastructure is for you to make sure that within this LLC, within this holding company, within this nonprofit organization, whatever you have created, we got to make sure that you got the right people in it. Number one, you got to make sure you're the right person for the job. Because if you're not the right person for the job, you got to position yourself within that business system to make sure that This is what you're good at. And now you can bring people on to cover your weaknesses and highlight your strengths, and then create systems around that, okay? So once you establish the legal entity, the next thing you have to do is make sure that you find the right staff or people, systems or processes, and services or products. So that's going to be a part of your process to bring those three elements together. And with those three elements, we're talking about with the people, the staff, with the products and services, with the processes and systems, with all of those, there has to be systems to surround that. So that no matter who it is that you're working with, no matter who it is that you hire, and this is something that I am even developing more in my business as we prepare to scale our business, because we're realizing that we need bigger systems, we need better systems, we need more polished systems, we need more expensive systems, and we just basically need more systems. So when you think you got enough systems, you realize you need more systems. You need better systems. You need bigger systems. You need one system over here instead of 4 systems over here. But all of this is a part of your process. And once this begins, you're not going to perfect it overnight, but once it begins, you're able to start making exchanges in the marketplace for a profit or for a purpose that leads to a profit. If you have any questions on that, I want you to either dial the number or send the questions in the comments.
You're dropping them gems there.
I'm dropping them gems today, huh?
Yes.
This is good.
Yeah. That's what they said.
This is good. So I'm gonna get this week I'm gonna talk about people or staffing systems. We're gonna talk about that a little bit this week. I'm even gonna talk about your products and service systems. I'll talk about those too. Question?
No, they was just comments.
Okay.
A lot of comments. They say your system should involve as your company involves. That was good.
That's right.
That was good.
Someone just made a comment saying that your systems should evolve as your company evolves.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So this week we're going to talk about the different layers of systems, but I want to at least give you my 5 top systems that I think everybody should use in their business. Now, if you have been to any of our masterminds, if you have been to any of our boot camps, if you have been to any of our workshops, and or if you are a member of our coaching program or our Blueprint Game Plan program, then you may have already received some level of training and information about my top 5 corporate systems. These are just the top 5 corporate systems that I have built information and training around. We have a question. I built this information and training around because I have found out as a business owner, as a system builder and implementer, that if you can connect systems to these top 5 business systems that are considered to be corporate systems, all your other systems are going to start falling into place and working cohesively together. So I'm going to just give you a brief rundown of those 5, and then we'll come back tomorrow and the rest of this week, and we're just going to build out a lot of discussions around these systems with regard to people, staffing, services, products, and other processes within these 5 corporate systems and the other subsystems that are under those. What's the question?
So do you have to form the holding company with a member managed or CEO structure?
The question is, do you have to form the holding company with a member manager,
Managed or
member managed structure, or with the CEO structure?
Yeah.
Well, with the CEO structure, if I'm correct, you're referring to creating a holding company as a C Corp or S Corp, as opposed to an LLC. you can set your holding company up as a member manager LLC, okay? Because your member manager LLC is going to own other member manager LLCs. So that means LLC number one will be structured conceptually like a holding company. And if it's more than one member in the LLC, then each of those multi-members will be co-owners of that LLC. And in terms of how you run the day-to-day operations of that member manager LLC, you can still use the CEO structure or concept. So like, for example, my holding company is a member managed LLC. But from a corporate operational perspective, right? I am in the position or assume the role legally as one of the member managers, but operationally I assume the role as the CEO. I'm the chief executive officer. So you can use the CEO concept and still structure your entity legally like a member manager. So we always refer to the holding companies as the member manager LLCs simply because they're very common. They're pass-through entities, and with the right legal or tax expert, they will advise you on, number one, if that legal entity structure is what's best for you and for what you want to do. And they also advise you and give you the direction that you need as experts as your business grows and evolves, whether it needs to be treated like another type of entity and or whether it needs to be switched and changed into another type of entity. So that's a legal question or expert question that your attorney or your CPA or tax strategist is going to give you. But you know, fundamentally speaking, generally speaking, okay, if you're creating a holding company, you can create a holding company as a member manager LLC, structure it as a holding company, and you can run it as the CEO. You could be the CEO of that holding company, even if it's not structured like a S corporation or a C corporation, because that's just how you run it in a day-to-day operations.
And that's an if form. I guess you did answer it. I guess.
What was the next question?
Member managed can you change the structure?
Yes, you can.
You can change it.
Yeah, you can. I mean, and again, I'm not a legal expert. I'm not a CPA or a tax expert, but to my knowledge and based on my experience and all of the questions that I have asked all of the experts that I've had relationships with, if it needs to be changed at any time, you can change it. Like nobody can tell you that you can't change it if you want to restructure it. But I know when it comes to filing your taxes through your business, depending on what decision your financial accountant decides to make for you with regard to your tax liability, they're going to have a lot to do to determine that when you talk with them and speak with them on what is going to be the most advantageous way to file your company in terms of your taxes. So sometimes they could be treated like S Corp, sometimes they could be treated like partnerships, pass-through entities, and sometimes they say, you know what, we need to switch this LLC over to a S corporation. So you got somebody who's in your corner. But again, if you're just starting it out, you can start it as a member manager LLC, structure it as a holding company, utilize the concept as the CEO, run it, build it out, create divisions. If you want to start other subsidiaries or operating businesses, you drop them under your holding company, meaning that LLC number one will own LLC number two. LLC number one will own LLC number three. LLC number one will own LLC number four. And once you connect with a CPA, a tax strategist, or lawyer, whoever's being used as the expert in those fields, they're going to be able to tell you, okay, we need to restructure this, or you know what, you're going to have a high tax bill if you keep it this way, and so we have to treat it differently. That's the decision that y'all gonna make when you get to that point. But at least structurally, you gotta have it up. All right, so let's talk about these top 5 corporate systems. Some of you may have heard them before. I know we did a show on them, but I want to use them in light of the power of systems, because I really want this week to be one of those weeks where you're able to push the reset button on everything that you're doing. We're halfway through the year, especially because some of you have been thrown off within the first 5 months of this year. You ain't really been able to gain no grounds, and you still trying to figure out how to create your company and structure it correctly and how to get it moving. Well, a lot of that is going to be tied into systems. So we have 5 corporate systems. That's what I teach. 5. We have executive systems. We have sales systems. We have marketing systems. We have accounting systems, and we have administrative systems. Those are the 5 corporate systems. All right. Again, we have executive systems, sales systems, we have marketing systems, accounting systems, and we have administrative systems. Those are the top 5 corporate systems, which each of these 5 systems are connected to the top 5 corporate roles. So for example, the executive systems are connected to the corporate role of the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer. The sales systems are connected to the executive role of the Chief Sales Officer, the CSO. Most companies call them the VP of Sales. All right. The marketing systems is connected to the executive role of the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer. The accounting systems is connected to the executive role of the Chief Financial Officer, the CFO. And then the administrative systems are connected to the executive role of the COO, or the Chief Operations Officer. So there are 5 corporate systems, but each of these 5 corporate systems connect to the 5 corporate roles. Now, you might not have all 5 executives in your business. You might be the CEO, the CSO, the CMO, the CFO, and the COO, right? You might be all 5, right? But it's okay, because when you're starting a business and you're building business systems, most likely you have to assume the role of all 5. You got to be able to flow in and out of those roles. Even if you can afford, even if you can hire 4 other people to fill those 5 roles in your company, so that you can have 5 systems and 5 roles connected to those 5 systems, you still want to know about all 5 of them. Because if you're the CEO, you should know about the CMO, because you're leading the CMO. This is your executive team. You should know about the CSO, the CFO, and the COO. You can't run no doggone corporate system with corporate positions and you don't even have a relationship with these roles. You don't know nothing about those roles. You got to talk to these people every day, because these are executive roles and these are executive systems, because all your other systems are going to flow from those main executive systems. So we have, again, executive systems, sales systems, marketing systems, accounting systems, and administrative systems. So I'm going to talk about those 5 systems tomorrow, and I'm going to connect them to the 5 executive roles to show you how these are going to be the most critical systems. Like, if you got all 5 of these systems operating in your business, I know you winning. I know you winning.
That's good.
I know you winning. If you have an executive system, some type of system that you have built or that you have implemented in your business for your role as the executive, for your growth, for your evolution. If you have one for sales, That means you might have a CRM. That means you might have a sales team, or you might be developing one. That means you have a marketing system. You have certain campaigns through emails and text messages, and certain capabilities for branding and advertising. You have an accounting system. You got QuickBooks. You track your income and expenses. You have an administrative system. You have some type of operational, logistical, day-to-day system that keeps you on track moving forward with your products and services, with your relationships. If you got that going, at least the basics of it, I know you're winning. I know you're winning. And guess what? Someone made a comment earlier. As your business evolves, as your business grows, all of these systems are going to grow. So I'm going to be talking more about those 5 systems tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about the 5 corporate roles that connect with those systems. And then throughout this week, we're going to be talking about the staffing, people systems. We're going to be talking about the products and service systems. And hopefully, I will convince you of the power of systems, and maybe convince you to look in the comments and click the link to our upcoming VIP financial workshop, which is where we're going to be spending 4 hours with you to help you create one of the most important systems, and that is your accounting system. You got to know where the money at. And that's going to be accounting. That's going to be a part of your accounting system. So we're going to have this VIP workshop this Saturday, and it's going to be very, very, very informative, very practical, very hands-on. We're going to provide refreshments for the 4 hours you're here. We're going to provide a handout and a workbook for you. And we're going to work with you hand in hand to walk you through setting up your accounting system, implementing certain accounting and tax strategies within that system, and at least having the ability when you leave here after that workshop to be able to properly track your income and expenses and your day-to-day transactions in your business through a system. That's going to be very, very important. So basically, this upcoming Saturday, you can lock in your accounting system. And for those of you that are looking for a business coach or a business consultant, someone to really come in and help you and your business grow and expand, that's a part of your executive system, because you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you need a coach, you need a consultant, you need a mentor, you need to be connected to a bigger ecosystem to help you expand and grow your business. And that's what we provide for you through our 1-year business coaching program. So you can kind of skip some of the steps that I'm talking about and join our 1-year business coaching program. And in the event that you join it, we're going to educate you and train you on a lot of these principles and practices. And we're also going to be working with you hand in hand for 52 weeks to make sure that you properly start, properly structure, and properly scale your business, or in other words, your business systems. So I want you to reach out to us. All the information is in the comments. Feel free to give me a call, text me, let me know what I can do, what we can do to help serve you, to get you to your next level. Love y'all. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for participating and being a part of the show. We'll see you tomorrow.